Welcome to Dear Fans. So the Las Vegas Aces have lost basically their entire team. Almost their entire team is gone from last year. They've lost basically everyone. If we want to look at the Vegas Aces team from last year, who's still remaining the MVP, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, that is it. And why are players leaving the Aces? In this video, I'm going to be talking about that. Before we get on to that, if you guys are new to the channel, well, subscribe. Spot with minimum contracts. That's as simple as that they fill out every other spot with minimum contract. Liz Kitley could be a nice player. And I mean, this Liz Kitley could be a nice player. Liz Kitley was top 5 last year. If she didn't get hurt, no, she wasn't. There is no way in hell Liz Kitley was going top for last year. Even if L Kitley tore her ACL, even if she was top 5, someone like you would rather have taken the amount of first round picks taken as draft and stash for players that weren't going to come over, and because they would miss a year of Liz Kitley, they were like, nah, let's let her drop from top 5 to the end of the second round. Either way, though, a good pickup for the Aces and Liz Kitley, but I think they're going to really come to regret getting rid of Dafer last year. I think they're really going to regret that he's getting rid of Dafer. Dafer would have really helped this roster right now. I'm coming in, but a lot of people are blaming AJ, Wilson blaming Becky Hammond. It's neither. Why these players are leaving, why Sydney Colson left. You got to understand what players play for. Players play for two things a lot of the time: money or rings, or chance to winning a ring. If you're a max contract player, you are playing for money. If you're a role player, you're going to play for rings. It's as simple as that. You are not going to make a decision. Nobody is going to take a massive pay cut to not win. For example, if you're Sydney Colson is going to make at least 100K. And other stuff even with going to Indiana, which she has lost from unlike the Aces based on a tourism thing. And who knows, Indiana could be paying their players more than the Aces did with their tourism point. But Tiffany Ha is left to be a #1 option and a max contract player. Simple as that. That has nothing to do with AJ Wilson. Tiffany Ha left for that reason. Sydney and Alicia Clark left for different reasons, and the reasons why Sydney Colson and Alicia Clark left, simply put, is they wanted to win. You might be saying, oh, if you want to win, why would you ever leave the Aces? Because the Aces aren't that good. Simple as that. The amount of people that are saying, oh, the Aces are this absolute super team. Still, oh, they got Jewel Lloyd. Wow, they got someone who shoots 26% from 3 and 36% from the field. And he's not struggling, unrivaled for every good game. She is 2 bad game. It's as simple as that. For every good Jewel Lloyd game, she has 2 bad games at this stage in her career. You got. And Wilson, sure, great player. Chelsea Gray. Oh my god, people are literally Chelsea Gray still an all-star. She averaged 8 and 5 and is moving worse now than she did last year. Oh, you're seeing it on Rival. She's an all-star. I'm what her team when her team are winning games. Chelsea Gray is sitting on the bench. Her team is better without her on the floor, and they're better with Lexi Hull running the point. Brittany Sykes has been better than her. Yes, she can score buckets. They just target her they target her. They target Sabrina, and she's not as good on offense she is. She averages 8 and 5 with nearly 2 turnovers a game, and is a McCone on defense. Chelsea Gray at her peak was unbelievable. I get it, but trying to argue Chelsea Gray is great in the year of 2025 is trying to argue Chris Paul was still an all-star level point guard because his name is Chris Paul, because some people might have called him the point guard back in the day. I don't know if anyone did, but just 'cause people called her point guard, you can scream point guard every time she makes a pass does not mean Chelsea Gray is an all-star. Not only is Chelsea Gray not an all-star anymore, she's not a starter on a championship-winning team. She can still be the best backup point guardy in the W. She is still a starter. She starts for a lot of teams in the W. She's not a starter on championship-winning team. Jackie Young and A.L. Wilson are gonna have to carry, and I rate Jackie Young really highly. I rate AIA arguably the best player in the world, but that's not enough. It is not enough when the New York Liberty are coming out with a super team. By the way, NSA getting hurt again for the Liberty is not good. That is not good for the Liberty. But when you've got a team, Nara is going to be probably back in the season. I don't know how badly she's hurt, but when you add the 7th pick to a championship team, and that 7th pick could very well be Sonia Citron, Dominique Monga, maybe they wanna sniper, and they take Hepkins at 7. They push up on her. Maybe they take him Hope Molina falls at 7, which he won't. There's going to be a lot of things, and the Lynx just picked up it on, and might be picking up Emma Mezin to add to a team that was already better than the Aces. The Fever weren't better than the Aces last year. The Aces did sweep them, but by the every game got closer, and by the end of the season I would argue there wasn't that much difference between them. Yes, the I were better, the I, yes. got significantly worse. The fever replaced Erica Wheeler and Alyssa Smith and Tammy with Natasha Howard, Danana Boner, and Sophie Cunningham. Like, really. And Clark's going to get better. Boston's going to get better. So for me, the reason why everyone's leaving the Aces is two reasons. They can't afford to pay any of the players that were underpaid. They can't afford to give players enough of a role. And the Jewel Lloyd contractors screwed them. Jewel Lloyd, by the way, is basically a max contract, is a $200K player plus a $50K player, or like it's almost a minimum contract, plus a max plus a near max. Like the max contract that is in the Supermax is $214K, and she's on $250K a year. Jewel Lloyd is making $50K more than a Chelsea Gray. Like, if all contracts were fair, Chelsea Gray is on about $130K. Jackie Young's on a Supermax. They have two. They're the only team in the league with two Supermax players. Heck, even SAHOO and Liz Thomas, but waived their Supermax rights. These other players and other teams, a lot of them have waived their Supermax rights to be able to get players, and whereas the Ices have two players, are the only team in the W with two players on a Supermax and then two others on a max. So it's really tough. It's going to be really tough to build anything around them. And for role players, if you're not going to win, why would you stay there? You have to take a pay cut to go to Vegas. You're going to have to play for less money. So if you are one of those role players, you're not going to win a championship, there's no point. And the Aces got to the second round last year and got comfortably beaten by the Liberty, who are probably going to be better next year. Sabrina is continuing to ascend starting feed, which is going to be huge, and they're probably bringing Maren Johannes back. So if you are the Liberty, you are the clear favorites, the clear favorites. If you are the Lynx, you got better. If you're to Fever, you got better. If you're to Mercury, depending on what the Mercury can do, like maybe Terasai takes a pay the Mercury, have a max contract slot. By the way, people don't realize that like Messima could go to the Mercury. Like, she's either go likely with the way the Sun are at the minute, she's almost certainly either going to the Mercury or the Lynx. If the Mercury can add another top 5 player in the world to that team, why would any role player go to the Aces? I mean that, like Parker Tuss. And the best thing is the Aces fans with their Cope Chelsea GRA and All-Star Parker Tuss was an All-Star in 2023. It's like Parker Tuss got dropped for Naz Hillman last year. Nissa Smith nearly made the All-Star team in 2023. Like, can we be honest here? But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys like this video and subscribe this channel. Thank you.